Welcome back to Survivor Fiji, Alec.
All right, wow, it's the Fijiest Fiji that ever Fijed.
Can you tell me who got voted
Um,
out last episode, Alec?
Lucy got
Hell
voted
yeah.
out.
Hell yeah, she did.
It was a delightful episode. Where Dreams just stole the show completely, and it was great.
That's
I loved every
so
second
much fun.
of it. Where he was like, we were just like, come on, give me a reason.
Yeah, and he was
And
like
it
asking,
was,
do you want to be here or
yeah,
not? It's
do you want to
it's
be
an easy
here?
question.
It's yes or no.
Asked
It's an
all of
easy
them. It was
question.
like, yeah, yeah. See how easy it was for them?
Yeah, how about you?
She's like, oh,
So
whatever. She
good.
didn't have anything clever to say back.
I
It's
know.
just so easy
No.
to root for Dreams and against Lucy.
Yeah.
It's just too
Yeah.
easy.
Who gave up the information seemingly for free to Alex and
Right.
Edgardo
That I
or
know.
Eduardo, sorry. I don't know.
Which, what do you know,
Yeah.
could have been the exact thing she needed in this exact circumstance.
Yeah,
And Ida
funnily
would have been
enough.
great.
It would have been spectacular.
But she literally did not care to win. She literally said she got all she. What else do I need to get out of this?
Yeah.
What did she say? I made it
Two,
to the.
two, two episodes ago, I think she Oh no, I guess she said that this time in this episode, but 2 episodes ago she was like saying something similar, but
She's like, I've been rich, I've been poor, I've been exiled.
yeah.
What else do I need to get out of this?
It's called $1 million, Lacey.
It's crazy.
That's what more you
You
got.
got these weirdos they drop in there every now and then like this who are just there for the experience and whatever. But it's
Whatever,
like
man.
they just seem to be oblivious to the actual stakes of the game. Like just la
Right.
di da, have enough time in their lives. But
Right.
she
That's
was,
why every single person was like, do you want to play still be in this game? And they're like, absolutely. Like, yep.
yeah.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
Those
it's
are
like easy question.
those are the people
Of
we
course you
want in the
do.
game. All right.
Right.
We don't want a bunch of leases, you know. There's a fine balance. You can only have a very small amount of leases before the season is really garbage. Too much leasey.
Is it her thing? Her thing about like I don't. Her thing about like it's not my will. I want to be here, and then she like explained like everything that is explaining like that it's not her will. It just reminded me of a Boy Meets World moment where someone was like, "Well, yeah, Eric, it's you didn't get good grades because you're lazy." It's like, hey, it's not that I'm lazy. It's just that I lacked motivation and didn't want to do the work. See the difference?
Yeah.
Like that's what it was basically. It's like
Yeah, and
what?
I found it
It was
telling
so
on the episode where she gets sent to exile. I was just editing this like not too long ago, watching it back, and she's like, it sucks. I was in this cushy alliance in my tribe, and then I got swapped, and everything got screwed up. I got sent to exile, and it was like she was all ready to go at that point. She was like, "Yeah, this is a great time to exit." I'm like, that tells you what it is right there. It's not that you got everything out of this experience. It's that you were in a cushy alliance, and the second that you
yeah.
weren't in that cushy alliance, you're like,
Right.
I don't actually care to put in the effort here. I
The
liked it. I
second
liked
there's
it when it
any
was living in this
adversity.
luxurious tribe with a cushy alliance. She literally called it a cushy alliance. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the second there's any actual I think that's what Dreams was putting up. The second there's any actual adversity, she just gives up, basically. And it's
Yeah.
like that's
and,
that's lame.
it's
That's
such dumb
lame.
logic too, where she's like, "I don't want to go down in the sinking ship. They're not gonna last long. Like this tribe is doomed or whatever. Like these people who are not there for the money, they just forget that okay, we're actually not gonna just be tribes forever. You know how this game
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, how you're
It's like
probably merging next time.
yeah, like
In
we're
fact.
literally at the numbers where it's very likely the merge is coming up. The exact thing where it's like the ship doesn't matter. It's like the
Yeah.
ship is sinking, but the land is right there. It's just slowly sinking as you're coming up on land where other people are at.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
like, and then you jump into the water the opposite way. Like, I don't want to be on the sinking ship
I
anymore.
don't want to be this. I mean, yeah, and everyone jumps off,
Onto land.
and they're like, "Oh, hey, there's land here." cool. And like, in fact, I don't even have to swim. I can just walk on the beach. Here I go.
And she's just drowning
Like,
herself out there for no
yeah,
reason. It's like, okay, Lacey, fine.
yeah, yeah.
That's what you want to do. All right.
But
If you're new to the channel, I'm a big Survivor fan. I've been taking Alex through the seasons chronologically from the beginning. We have a playlist on the channel for all our Survivor videos. You go to zacharcher.net/Survivor. You can pick whatever season you want and check out what videos we have on it. All right. So as always, click the link in the description to see the highlights of the reaction and come back afterwards for the discussion.
yeah,
Right.
see you then. There's apparently big drama, so you'll have to be going on. You have to see what's good.
With like the
Little
that
beach
meme with
developer.
like the guy who has got the smiley mask on and he's like crying behind it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought of like hide the pain Harold, but I think that one that's a good one too. It's crying with the smile.
Yeah, I was dreading this episode. It's pretty it's a pretty infamous one because a lot of people say she really did get screwed here.
She get totally screwed. Totally screwed. Like this is I don't understand why they felt the need to add another twist here.
Why they do it? Like, yeah, there was so much drama like building up from this merge. Like, we have these two fours, and they're gonna have to come to a head here, and it's like, nope, split up, random, and then Michelle screwed because of the distribution.
And it's just he's screwing over. He's just gonna screw over somebody like completely, and that's exactly what happened.
I mean, theoretically, the exact reason that Mookie is mad at Dreams is like you should have thought there is a chance she could have stayed. Like, Dreams wanted Stacy gone.
Yeah.
Interesting. It would be interesting to hear his rationale, like on why he made that decision, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very odd decision.
Because like, Alex has been maybe to placate the other whatchamacallit, that tribe back at Moto, the remaining Moto that are back there waiting. Like, I guess Edgardo plus Alex would be annoyed by it, and then also Boo. So maybe he just didn't want to do that. He didn't want to ruffle the feathers, and like Michelle's an easier one to do potentially. But it's like this is his opportunity here. He's saying they were just saying how they wanted to move Stacy into this 5 with them, and Mookie and Dreams both agree like, oh, that's horrible for us. But
yeah, well, I think maybe that's why Dreams made the decision, because he's like, look, I want her gone, but I'll at least maybe play along with the idea that they want her in the tribe, because I don't want to necessarily because they've indicated that they want to keep Stacy around, so maybe I won't cause too much friction with our 4 horsemen, maybe.
So he can at least be like, well, look, I've been working with you guys here, so then maybe they'll be more likely to actually go his way than an upcoming vote.
But the thing is that like he and Mookie have like a thing where they know what they're kind of up to with doing that. So sort of a tricky situation.
But yeah, it does put Mookie in a rough spot for being, because you can pretty easily suss out that he was the vote, because she was the one Ravu with Michelle. But
see, yeah. I think in any other scenario, this team immunity challenge would be really cool. I hate its implementation here, because we have such this dynamic of 2 core groups thinking that they have the other tribe members is so interesting. It's fascinating. Like, because everyone on former Moto thinks that like, oh yeah, we get them on our side, and then everyone on former Ravu is like, yeah, we're doing the work here, we're really getting them on our side. And it's just like, it's so fun seeing that dynamic, because it's like you don't know what's gonna happen exactly. You don't know who actually is gonna side with who here, and then it just is all the T cart's completely upended when they're like, and well, we're just gonna kind of decide it by fate. Okay.
Yeah. The hype was building up, and then they took the wind out of the sails by doing this
completely here. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just such a weird decision. I mean, like, if it was pre-planned to happen, then I get it. But I mean, I don't know.
But Michelle, it
Going
did
on.
not seem like she was going to go anytime soon. It literally was a
No.
shuffling of the deck that was stacked against her heavily.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it,
she was very much like Earl's kind of spy, and she was just sort of like she just sort of like did her thing and was sort of like a non-threat. Like her and Stacy were kind of talking about,
mhm.
like, hey, we're probably in the clear for a while because the boys are just gonna duke it out, and we just can kind of just like
Yeah, yeah, and then little do they know they get
roll.
placed in a group with the boys, and it's one of them. It's
Yeah,
either
yeah, exactly.
between those two.
Um,
But
yeah, that's tough.
yeah, we're gonna get to see like the reaction when Michelle's not there. Earl was saying she's an integral part of his strategy here. She was one of
Yeah,
the four in what they call the core four. So yeah, it's
there's the core four and the four horsemen.
so it's not only
So
the random shuffling of the deck; it's also the fact that there was no strategizing. We're going right to tribal council. That's another part of it.
yeah,
So she
yeah,
didn't even have
that's
like
messed
a
up too.
chance to fight for it. I mean, it's very
Yeah.
possible it would have just been more heavily against her. It's possible that like Mookie just gets on the same page with them and
Hmm.
votes her out too. But there's always you at least want to be able to have some agency here, not just like, all right, here's a bunch of motos, and then I'm the odd man out here.
Mm.
It's not as much, not as interesting there. So a tragic fall for Michelle.
Yeah,
So
really.
some untapped
I
potential
mean,
there.
if the reactions, I don't know. I haven't like gone and watched tons of them, but if the editing was any indication, big crush on her I had throughout the entire season.
Hmm.
So kind of bummed that this is the way she has to go.
Yeah.
Um, I think she's just adorable and a little peach. I just thought everything, and also that tumble off the tower was like the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, too bad. Because like other than that twist, I would say like this episode was a pretty big win. I would say overall. I liked the.
Why? Because
It was kind of like a weird.
everything was building up to not that. So it's like
Yeah,
everything was building up to this merge vote, and it's okay.
yeah,
One more split into groups. So
yeah,
yeah,
and I like the twist upon twist where it's like it feels like, oh, maybe they're gonna like make us live here on Exile Island, and then it's like, no, you guys are all gonna go back to Moto, and then there's a rug pull right there. So it's like two rug pulls in the
yeah.
whole episode. Like
And then
you
Moto
can't
doesn't
do
have
that.
anything there anymore. Actually,
Yeah, like a rug pull. To me, it's like if you're gonna do a rug pull, you do one. You can't do them back to back. I just think that's too weird. I
no,
don't think you can really.
it's exile. Oh, we're going to exile, live on Exile Island. No, we're going to live on Moto. That's great. That's a
Yeah,
luxury camp. No, there's
yeah,
no luxury. So it's almost like
yeah.
three rug pulls.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. Well, it's weird because it's like they left them vague, so it's not quite a rug pull. It's just leaving open-endedness. But
Yeah,
the rug pull is ultimately you're going back to Moto, the tribe that you think is the luxury, and the rug pull is like actually there's nothing there.
yeah,
And this time is like you go to the challenge, and it's like actually you guys are going to be competing in two different things. Oh, also you're going immediately to tribal council.
yeah.
Like so there's like two there, and it's like, come on, man. It's like just one thing at a time here.
But almost any other draw would have been better for Michelle.
Yeah,
It's
really. Yeah, pretty
like the
much.
freaking three of the four
Yeah,
horsemen together. But of
yeah. Three
course,
of the four freaking horsemen.
Mookie wasn't on the same page, but it didn't matter since they had Stacy
Yeah,
there. They had to vote for each other by default.
yeah, pretty much. So because they knew that the votes were going to be about them, pretty much. So
Who do we think would have gone if it was the other group? Yao Man, Earl, Boo, Cassandra, and Edgardo.
if it was those ones,
Everybody was talking about
oh,
Boo a lot. It probably would have been Boo, right?
they were. It might have been Boo. Yeah, I think it probably would have been Boo. Yeah, because Yaman and Earl have a thing. I think Cassandra and Edgardo, I don't know if they're necessarily allied because Cassandra is definitely more with like Dreams and Yao Man.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it probably would have been Boo. I would think, yeah.
Yeah. So either one probably wouldn't have been very interesting, huh?
Yeah,
But
ultimately. But
you know, it's sad. It's sad.
well, this is interesting in the sense that like it's somebody that they didn't even talk about being, voting for as out now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a wild
It's true.
random happenstance, just
Yeah.
happens. But
And so we did have the moment where the Mookie just randomly decides to tell Dreams about the idol after previously
mhm.
not telling him about the idol. Um, I mean, the preview kind of shows already the
That
consequences
was
of
a
that.
terrible idea.
But I think even just not knowing that it's like objectively, I think the wrong decision because once you go to the point of not telling him for a few days, it almost does
Yeah.
more damage than good to then tell him. I feel like because it's like he literally had to
100% more
respond. He was
damage.
like, "Why didn't you tell me all these days? Like I know I'm on the outs now, like on the bottom of the
Because
totem pole."
even though you have an alliance with them, you also have to be cognizant of the idea that they are still a free agent. Like Dreams could easily be working someone else right now.
Yeah,
And so like that's why Edgardo made the assertion like, look, man, like he's gonna go tell Cassandra and he's gonna go tell Earl. We're screwed now that you've told him that.
hmm.
And it's like and he's just like, no, I don't think he will. I don't think he will. And
Yeah, but that's
well, it looks like from the
the
preview, it looks like that's exactly who he's telling. So it's yeah.
and yeah, I mean, it was also him just doing it spontaneously without actually consulting them first. You know, it's
Yeah.
like
Just not saying because I mean, he did sort of indicate early on that like, look, I know this is like a shared thing, but like this is mine ultimately. And
yeah,
like I'm gonna use it how I see fit. So
but he did it. He
he
did it
I
in
think
front of everybody though. He didn't pull him
yeah, that was
aside
the
and
thing that
do it.
was
It was like I
wild.
did it in front of
Yeah.
him, and they're like, "Whoa," or he did it in front of
Like,
Alex.
whoa,
Yeah.
yeah, he and I was just like, why did he do that? I love that. That confessional during that was so good. I was just like, I did not feel good when he said that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
because the reaction is.
that's certainly gonna
Whereas if they told him initially, the reaction might have been awesome. So glad we got this, and thanks for telling me. Now the
yeah.
reaction is, wait, when did you get this? Wait, a
Yeah.
few
And
days
like,
ago.
oh, a
You know
couple
how
days ago.
long the days are on Survivor? It's like a
Yeah.
lifetime.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
just
that's
held
like
on to
what?
this without telling
Yeah,
me.
so then he was like, "Cool, I'm gonna be doing what I can to screw them over." Is basically what Dreams is like. He's like, "Cool, well, I'm in it for myself, so whatever. Like,
Yeah, just not a
I'll
good
cut him
look.
loose when I need to." No, bad, real bad look.
So once you say you're not going to tell him, you have to commit at that point and never tell him, pretty much,
You really do have to commit to the bit there. Yeah,
or
for
at
sure.
least like you have to like you. That was the whole thing with him spontaneously doing it. If he was like, I definitely want to tell Dreams, he could have talked to them and be like, okay, we'll say we just found it. Then come up with some sort of scenario like that where it's not like days ago. He had to
Yeah,
be totally honest with them that he got it days ago. It couldn't have been some way he said, I just found this idol, dude. Or even
yeah,
be like, you're the
for
first
sure.
person I told. You know, you get something there.
Uh
But
huh.
it wasn't thought out well enough.
Not remotely.
But yeah, so we had the four core. They called themselves Earl, Yellman, Michelle, and
Cassandra?
just trying to think. Did he say Cassandra was in the core four? Maybe.
It might have been.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
yeah, I think so. And then
Yeah.
the four horsemen: Edgardo, Dreams, Mookie, and Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Which left would theoretically leave Stacy and Boo as the
Yeah.
two ones
It's the two
left
on the
out,
outs.
and then they were both
Yeah.
tossed around as names. But then, of course, these random tribes pop up, and they just take the opportunity. Okay, we'll just vote out Michelle then.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if they know how good that move actually is for them. This other four, that's one of the other
Right.
four that they don't know about. But
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But
So who would you
yeah,
give your
good.
MVP to for the episode?
Oh, boy. There's a lot of like significant players here. A lot of moving parts. Um, I think I'm gonna give it to Dreams again. And the reason for which being is that like his vote for Michelle is like it's just fascinating to me. Like it's clear that he's making some plays and idea like some moves in his mind, and I don't know exactly where he's going with everything, but like he's someone that like I don't know what game he's playing, but like to me it feels like it's a lot more sophisticated than we're led to necessarily believe on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's doing something, and I don't know. Like I just have this feeling that like that's like a big play, especially now that we're seeing in the next episode. And I know I'm supposed to be just talking about this episode, but like to me, it's like all these things in play, and he decides instead of voting Stacy out, which would be necessarily more beneficial to him and Mookie, he goes with Michelle instead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that there's some interesting stuff going on there. Plus, he's just generally always very entertaining. Like making the decision, like, oh, you guys are just telling me now, like what the heck is
Mm-hmm.
up with that? I also really like the remember how this felt moment where he's talking about like remember how like everyone counted us out, but like remember how it felt when we're all together here. This is like the moment that we need to like lean back on. I like that kind of rallying moment that he sort of had there. It was really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it
Yeah.
was he was a good guy this episode for sure.
There's multiple angles to that vote too, because like on the surface, it
Yeah,
seems like voting Stacy out would be the emotional decision, and you see
right.
that in the confessionals. Like, I want her gone because of how
Yeah,
she treated me,
yeah. He just yeah,
and so clearly it's some sort of more thought out decision to vote Michelle
right.
out. You would think, but at the same time, Michelle even said it. They don't really talk strategy at all, so
Yeah,
it's like Stacy didn't treat you well, but you're loosely aligned. Michelle, it's just like not positive or
mm,
negative. So it's like which
right,
one's worse necessarily. You do
right.
risk like angering your fellow allies with voting Michelle out or voting Stacy out. So there's definitely a lot to
Right.
consider,
Because they
especially
want to keep
considering there
him.
was no strategizing beforehand. It's like you gotta do all that calculus as much as you can in the
Yeah.
moment.
And I don't know. It just seems like it was it's just an interesting play. It's a maybe a little bit more unexpected play, and
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting. I think we'll have to see where that goes moving forward. You know, but like Mookie said, I hope in the preview where it's like it's gonna bite us in the ass if we do that. We'll have to see.
Yeah. So Michelle's gone. Michelle, as Dreams even
Michelle,
wrote.
yeah,
Michelle
Michelle,
Mabel. So
Michelle, my bell.
all right. And so come back next week for another episode of Survivor Fiji. Every week coming through. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
get an actual merge, post merge vote this time. Regular vote.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. There's a weird kind of voting going on here still, but
It's like not only did they hype up everything, we built it all up, and then we just get to the challenge. He mixes them up, and he's like, "All right, let's start the challenge." And it was like, okay, there's not
okay.
even any like oomph to it. It's just like this
Oh,
is our groups. Start the challenge. Go to tribal
yeah,
council. All right,
yeah.
cool.
It's also a weird thing to be like, and they merged, but the votes against these people are they only had 5 votes, period. And it's like it's just very weird that it's like an exclusive club gets to
Yeah,
vote someone out. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. We got Michelle getting voted out at the merge vote with 3 votes total
yeah.
against her.
Yeah, weird stuff.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you go check out our review? No, go watch our episode. Go watch the Message in a Bottle episode of Cook Islands. he he
Our
even opened up a
favorite.
little paper, which
Yeah, you
said,
opened a paper in this one.
it's like as
Yeah.
if like it's not like I'm just springing this on you now. I'm reading it. I'm just as surprised as you are. Whoa, you're going right to tribal council right now. I guess that's what we're doing. That's what the message
Okay,
said.
all right. I guess that's what's happening. Yeah, wow. Okay, crazy.
And it could have been anything on this message. I have no idea. So
You could have said, "Go jump in the ocean." You're all staying the night on Exile Island. It could have been anything.
It's like, it's not cute, Jeff. It's like you literally just took the message out of the bottle. It's not different.
Not cute. It's not
just,
cute.
Like, you might as well. They're just like, okay, people didn't like the message in the bottle. Let's take the message out of the bottle.
It's just we'll have the message. Here it is.
Yeah.
Little message.
It's like, okay, it's still a shade. It just feels, it's like shades of that still. Obviously not to the same extent.
Why are we having hidden messages, Jeff? Just tell us you'll go into tribal council immediately. What does it matter?
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to tell them beforehand so that they're not strategizing as they're doing the challenge, I guess?
As they're doing the challenge, yeah.
They're just talking as they're rowing. Like, so who are we thinking? Oh, man.
Vote for her! It's the rowing in.
This is what we could have had. This is what we could have had.
It would have been epic. It would have been freaking sweet. They're all screaming strategy at each other.
All right. This is like, you will cast it. You will not go to tribal council. You will cast your votes right here at the challenge. If you
here, right now.
If you lose and you're still in the boat, you will cast your votes in the boat.
You cast your votes.
I don't know
in the
why.
boat.
It's what the message says.
That's what it is.
Weird.
Yeah, you got to write down someone's name.
It's like,
that's your vote. All right.
Yeah. All right. So subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. Like the video. Leave a comment, and if you do, we'll read it on the next episode of the Tarqaron podcast. Unless it's like something I feel would be better for the review, we do a season review at the end of each season where we really get to break it down. All right, so click link in the description for our social media and hit that notification bell too. All right.
All right.
Take care of yourself.